Hello everyone, I am Will, and welcome back to my playthrough of Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. Yep. Last we left off, we began our adventures through the Shrine of Amana. Yep. A lot of people find this place, well, when people talk about bad areas in Soulsborne games, this area is usually one of them they talk about. Yeah, they put it up there. It has like deep water. It's got mages that spew homing soul arrows from miles away. A lot of enemies in the water. Cliff edges that can be hard to see through the water and all that stuff. But yeah, and a lot of people don't really like the place, but still a lot of good items to grab throughout here. But yeah, so we started our adventures through here. Started at the first bonfire at the entrance. Yep, and just kind of made our way through. Just like down the first set of stairs through a door. Took on our first Drake Warrior. Was it the Archdrake Warriors? Yeah, those guys out there. Yeah, that's an arch. I call those guys Archdrake Warriors. But yeah, so took on the first one there. Knocked the body out of a tree. Dealt with the basilisk, chest with some wilted dusk herbs and a skeptic spice, I think. And so we just went back further down, encountered our first little lizard men. It's like those little abominations. I don't know really how you describe it. They're called lizard men, but yeah, it was fascinated or comforted by dancing fireflies. Yep. That dance to the songs of the Milfinitos. You probably hear them singing in the background. But so dealt with him, stepped out, hooked the right to grab the body we knocked out of a tree, which I think just had like a soulite or I think it was like a life gem, like a radiant gem. Then we progressed down the main path, using our bow and arrow to pluck off lizardmen as we go. Took to the item, like little island on the left, 2 effigies, continued down. I think there was a curse jar that we took care of outside. I think it was another chest containing, I think, crimson waters. Then we went into the hut itself, where we encountered our first Milfinito. Well, our second encounter, but the first time we actually talked to him. The first Milfinito we encountered was up in Drangelic Castle. Yep, kind of locked in a cage. Yep. So we're going to have to find the key to that little cage to free her, but yeah, but the first one we actually talked to was here in the shrine at that first hut. Yeah, just kind of talked about who they were. They were given songs, so they would sing to comfort those in death and dark, and how they would never leave this place, and how we were in search of, King Vendrick and all that stuff. So, yeah, we just talked to her. She did eventually give us a smooth, silky stone. Okay. But I think we can go back to her once we find the next Milfinito. We should be able to, I think we can go back to her and talk to her again. She might give us another item, but yeah, there's another Milfinito coming up. I think she's locked in a hut as well, so we have to free her from her little prison. And so we talked to our first Milfinito, pressed forward, some more lizard men, and then we came upon a few of the Archdrake Warriors. Yep. Yeah, they're not too much. They're not too bad. They're weak to thrust, and they also, it says there's a lot of water about. We have our lightning spear, so if they go through the water, they'll become weak to lightning as well. So our lightning wing spear here does a real number on them. And so, luckily, they're not too bad. So we just killed them, looted the little souls, or looted the items in that little area. I think it was like some soul items mostly. Grabbed the dragon charm from a chest just before the cave entrance. Yep, and then we went through the cave. And this had a bunch of fireflies, some more lizard men, another chest. I think it contained like a twinkling titanite and another item or so. And then we came upon, I like to say, the Shrine of Amana proper. Yeah, this is where they had like the glowing plants in the water. It's also where the sorceresses show up. I think they call the Shrine Maidens, I think what they're called. Yeah, the ones that shoot projectiles across the map. Well, not that far, but it's still a pretty long range. Yeah, their sight range is long, and their aggro range is just as equally as long. And so you can get sniped from all different angles without really even realizing it. Yep, so we just kind of took care of the first one we found. Used our shield here to spell parry their projectiles, which definitely made the area a lot better. So took care of her, hit the bonfire and that little ruins right there. And we just kind of took our time exploring. Just made sure we didn't accidentally fall off the edge. Yep, there was some more sorceresses. On the left side, there was eventually came upon a Ferrous Lockstone contraption, which opened up a room with a chest containing the Helix Halberd. Yeah, very interesting little weapon. Yeah, because it's a strong attack, has a little protrusion or a spike that comes flying out when you attack, giving you a pretty deceptively long range. Definitely good on surprising people in PvP, but again, it's a halberd class, so its R1 is bound by the sweet spot mechanic. So if you don't hit them with the weapon edge, you're not gonna do the whole damage. So I tend to avoid halberds in Dark Souls 2 just for that reason. The same thing with scythes. I think they both have that mechanic built in. But it's an interesting weapon. Interesting weapon nonetheless. And so so after getting that, we back onto the main path, clearing out lizard men as we went, grabbing some items as we went, and then we came upon, I'll say, like a circular ruin. Yeah, after clearing out some of the priestesses, if we looked at left, we noticed a dragon rider out in the lake. Yeah, there's a kind of like a little passage or a little bridge just under the surface that you can go towards him. But we used our bow and arrow just to kind of draw him to us. Yeah, just kind of fight him in a relatively safer spot to dodge and not have to worry about cliff edges. Yeah, so took him down. He's just a normal enemy. He doesn't drop anything. At least not that I'm aware of. He does respawn. I thought he didn't, but he does respawn. And he's actually guarding a door. A special door in that. It's a door that says it's locked, but the only way to unlock it is to kill King Vendrick and be human. Yep, that's a door that you cannot open if you're hollow. You have to be human to open it after you kill King Vendrick. Yep. Because beyond that door is King Vendrick's soul as well as his armor set. So, yep. The man separated himself from his soul. Yep. Apparently he was trying to keep it from somebody. Hence the condition on the door where you have to be human in order to do it. But, yeah, so for now the door is inaccessible to us. So we went back towards the main path. Instead we went a bit further towards that circular area. Well, it's more like a crescent because it's the middle is just a dead drop. And so we just kind of follow the wall along the curve, dealing with sorceresses as we went, as well as a ogre. Yep, there's some ogres down here. At least 2 that I know of, probably 3. Wouldn't be surprised if there's 3, maybe 4, but we just do the usual ogre tactics. Try to get behind them. Well, the first one we encountered him kind of like on a cliff edge, so we couldn't really get behind him. So we just kind of had to kind of like roll backwards, poke at him, trying to avoid his attacks. So, but we did eventually get him down, and that opened up the path out towards, I think it's a peninsula almost, that kind of juts out into the lake. It narrows down towards the end. There's 2 sorceresses down there. And at the end of that little a peninsula type thing, is an Estus Flask Shard, which is useless for us now because our Estus Flask uses is maxed. So if we went back to the Emerald Herald, tried to upgrade our flask, it'll say our uses is at max, so it's already upgraded. So every shard from here on out is paperweight. We can sell it to Gavlon for about, I think, 1,200, but we're just going to hold on to them just because. I think we'll get like a few more later on, but yeah. And the other prize out in that little peninsula is a chest containing the Sunlight Blade miracle. Yeah, it's a miracle that allows us to infuse our weapons with lightning. I love it. It can even be used on weapons that were infused. So if you have a lightning weapon or a lightning infused weapon, you slap with lightning blade on it, you definitely boost your lightning damage at that point. So, yeah, we can get another copy from Strayed, but we'll have to go through the catacomb. I mean, the undead crypt before he sells it. But at least we have one copy of it, so that's good. And then we, after picking up our prize, we made our way back, press forward towards another hut. This one is abandoned. There's just some soul items, life gems inside. Yep. But, and after that we kind of went back out towards the lake, because we spotted some cursed jars in the middle. And we continued towards the edge, hugged it as we went left, and we eventually came upon another chest, kind of hidden out in the lake. Yeah, this chest contained a Fire Tempest. Yeah, it's got like a upgraded form of Firestorm, so may not be good. Yeah. But after that, again, we went back towards the main path, clearing out the Archdrake Warriors, the Shrine Maidens along the way, picking up some soul items. I think there was like a alluring skull somewhere. And then before pressing into this cave, we hitched left towards a bunch of branches we knocked away, revealing a second ogre. This time we had enough room to actually get behind him to do his little sit-down loop. Yeah, you just get behind him, he'll do a sit-down attack, and as long as you stay behind him, he'll just keep doing it over and over and over. So we took care of him, and he was guarding the life ring +2, as well as the singer dress. Yeah. Again, life ring +2 is just a better life ring. I think it's a 15% increase. And the singer dress is the dress of the Milfinitos. Yeah, giving them a bit more backstory. Yeah, they learned the songs from the Great Dead One, also known as Nito. Yeah, so these Milfinitos have been around since at least the Age of Fire. If not these ones directly, they are descended from the ones from the Age of Fire. So they've been around for a while. Yeah. And so we got the dress, came in here to this cave, hit the bonfire, and I think that was it. I think that's all we did. Yeah, just kind of did like the first half of the Shrine of Amana. Second half's probably the worst part, but we'll live. Yeah, and between episodes, I did my Twinkling Titanite farming. Yep. I did this bonfire, kind of went out there, farmed I think there's the 5 Archdrake Warriors, the 4 Shrine Maidens. I farmed them for Twinkling Titanite and their equipment. Yeah, so I have the rest of the Archdrake set, and as well as I also got the Staff of Amana, which is the staff that these maidens wield. It also has some interesting lore to it. It's also a really good staff if you remain human. It will do more damage than our Witch Tree branch here. The only exception is that it's a lot slower, and also requires us to be fully human in order to get the most out of it. Yeah, so like the Forlorn weapons. The Forlorn weapons you get more damage out of it the more hollowed you are. Staff of Mana is the reverse. you get more damage out of it the less hollowed you are. So, yeah, but also has interesting little lore to it. Yeah, the demon was contained within the shrine by sacred rites, but over time the tradition was lost and the demon set free. It gained knowledge and learned to lure humans into its lair using song. Yeah. It actually references the boss of the Shrine of Amana, the Demon of Song. Yeah, yeah, it's a capital D, so it's I don't know. I know it signifies something, but I think it's a chaos demon, or at least I think it was a chaos demon at one point. But the Soulsborns, a demon is just anything that's a monstrosity of some sort. But I think it's a chaos demon, or it was anyway. So, yep. So that was a little interesting, little lore towards the staff of Amana. Yep. But again, between episodes, I just farmed for Twinkly Titanite, got myself a bunch. Yeah, because they do drop it pretty uncommonly. I mean, it's not rare, but it's not common. But you can get a lot of it, a lot of them pretty quickly. Yep. So I did use my Twinkly Titanites we got, upgraded a bunch of stuff. The Looking Glass leggings and gauntlets here, I did upgrade a bit. Upgraded the Dragon Chime we got from Dark Diver Grendel to max to +5. There's some other stuff I upgraded as well. I maxed out the Ruin Sentinel gauntlets and greaves because I do like the looks of those. Some other stuff I also upgraded. I think I upgraded some weapons. I think. That's shards. I know I upgraded some stuff. Yeah. Yeah, but the biggie was I upgraded the Dragon Chime to +5, and I infused it with lightning. So now it is going to be our best chime when using lightning miracles. Yep, so if you chuck a lightning spear, the Dragon Chime will give us the most damage out of it. And I did take all the souls I got from farming those Twinkling Titanites and the items. I did level up our base faith to 50. So even with no faith increasing items, we can still use our Dragon Chime. Yep. Ah, yes. Ah, yes. Now our miracles are going to be as strong as they're going to be. Well, they can still be strong. I think what's it? I think the soft capped for faith for the Dragon Chime is 60, I think, or 55. For all I know, it's probably 50, but I do want to get to at least base of 55 so I can use a Sunlight Spear without the Ring of Prayer. But that's our next to-do list. Okay. So yeah, between episodes, just farmed for Twinkly Titanite, leveled up our faith, upgraded some stuff, and I think that was it. Yeah, I believe that was it. Okay. And our equipment for today is almost exactly like we had last episode. Yep. Wing Spear, Lightning Wing Spear +10, 100's Black Bow, our Gold Wing Shield +6. We did change out our chime, so now we have the Lightning Dragon Chime +5. Yep. Putting in almost 500 lightning damage. Yep. So Lightning Spear will scale off that lightning damage on this chime, so they're gonna hit like a truck. It also has one of the fastest cast speeds of chimes, coupled with the clear bluestone ring, where you'll be chucking spears pretty quickly. Yeah. So yeah, I love this. I love this thing. Now we have the Spell Quartz ring +2. I'll probably change this out depending on the situation. The clear bluestone ring, faster speeds, 50. The Ring of Prayer gives at least to 55, so we can use Sunlight Spear. So the Ritual Band +1, so we can use Sunlight Spear, and because Sunlight Spear takes 2 attunement slots, so we need more attunement slots. Armor's the same as last time. Hexer Hood, again for more casts, giving us at least one additional cast per miracle we have. And so instead of having 2 casts of Sunlight Spear, we'll have 3. Instead of 1 cast of Sunlight Blade, we'll have 2. So on and so forth. also give us at least one more faith level, so that's good. White Mage Row +6, Looking Glass Gauntlets and Greaves, both to +3. Upgraded these between episodes. So now we're boosting some pretty hefty physical defense. And I also the Archdrake Warriors will drop old Radiant Life Gems. These are, I think, the best life gems in the game. So I have a lot, so we're going to be using these from now on. Yep. Although we can't buy them infinitely, but we can farm them infinitely. Green Boss for stand recovery, Woodland Tusker for spell use recovery. Switch over some lightning arrows, at least for now. Poison arrows. Here are my stats. We are now level 199. Yep. Probably by the end of Shrine of Mana, we'll have enough to be level 200. So, again, levels. You can get a lot of levels in Dark Souls 2, especially if you're trying to grind for items and upgrade materials. Yep. So our next bet is to get at least 55 base faith, and then after that we'll probably work on our endurance, vitality, attunement, maybe some more dexterity and vigor. Yep. All right. I also have 2 copies of Lightning Spear, 1 copy of Great Lightning Spear, Sunlight Spear, Sunlight Blade, as well as Great Magic Barrier. Yep. Solid miracles, solid miracles. Alright, I think we rambled on long enough. All right. Take a sip real quick. Okay. Alright. Better. Alright. Shall we press forward into the shrine? Alright. We have Felicia the Brave. We actually will summon her, mainly for distraction. Yeah, because this next little section, the first area, has quite a number of sorceresses, so having a distraction will definitely help. 295. Oops. This would be 276. Alright. Stick with lightning arrows for now. Again, enemies are going to be in water, so this will definitely help. Yeah, these guys, that's corrosive gas they give off, so it will degrade weapons and armor. They can drop life gems and corrosive urns, but pretty rarely. I think you can be poisoned. Yeah, but they're basically dead at that point. Alright. Alright. I might have to get those guys so she doesn't... I'm just going to clear out the enemies nearby just so Felicia doesn't... Just so our brave here won't get distracted by enemies. She'll actually follow us. Alright, Felicia the Brave. Be our meat shield. I have no problem summoning phantoms or with that whatnot. Let's go, Felicia. Onward. Yeah, because there's a couple of Drake warriors. That maiden right there will cast heal, so she will heal her allies. I think there's sorceresses flanking. Yep, there. It's already got her attention. There we go. There's another one back there. Think we could snipe her? If we could snipe her, this encounter would be a lot easier. I don't think so, yeah. Oh, we got her. Good. Whew. Alright. This makes this encounter a lot easier now. Alright, so we're just going to clear out these enemies. Once these enemies are cleared out, we can get rid of, or we can release Felicia from her service. Go. Yep. Peculiar Kindred will invade when we get to that little location. So let's at least distract this this sorceress. Alright. Now Peculiar Kindred. Oops. Eat Sunlight Spear. Though you probably blocked it. Yeah, she blocked it. That's why we didn't do that much damage to her. Alright. Peculiar Kindred. Thank you, Felicia. Human effigy. Red Iron Twin Blade. Proud Knight. I'm gonna go looting these items. Skeptic Spice. This item over here. Gotta be careful, because there is a ledge. Large Solar Proud Knight and Green Blossom. Right, Felicia. I wish I had Soothing Sunlight so I can actually heal her, but... Careful of the ledges. Let's go grab this. Petrified Dragon Bone and a soul. So we're going to tie knife pry from one of the enemies. Alright. Milfinito's in there, that little hut over there. Right, so let's grab this item and we'll release Felicia from her service. She has done us well. This is really deep water, so we're going to be really slow. Homing Crystal Soul Mass. I think that's the crystal version. Yep, it's this one. Yeah, soul beads made more lethal with crystallization. When fired, homes a target. Crystallization makes souls and sorceries all the more powerful. Yes, they do. Alright. Alright, Felicia. Your services have been rendered. Thank you, Felicia. Alright. There's... This is probably the hardest part of this little section, is for this little area here, as well as that invader. And that over there is the Shrine of the Dead, I think is what it's called, or the Shrine of Amana. Not the Shrine of Amana. This whole area is Shrine of Amana, but I think there's the Altar of Amana. Yep. Or also known as the Shrine of the Dead. Yep. Yeah, there's a pretty powerful Pyromancer NPC enemy up there. I think there's another one down there. We'll get there. We will get there. Although, in order to open that door, you actually have to be hollow and open the door over there. So we're going to have to at least kill ourselves, or at least get cursed. Not looking forward to it. Nope. Oh, I also got the red iron twin blade. Yep. Twin blade with heavy blades on each end. Made suited to smashing foes and slashing them. Requires a great deal of muscle and wield artfully. Closely imitates the design of a foreign-made weapon that has blades affixed to both ends of its hilt. Yeah, the red iron kind of just reminds me of Thangarl, because his armor set is red, has like a similar-ish red. But how much does it require? So it requires 26 strength, 20 dex. We could two-hand it, but 14 units. Oof. That is a lot. Right. Shield drop down. I think there's nothing else in this little area. I don't think there's any hidden chest or whatnot. Some more enemies. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else out here. Alright. So go this way. Just trying to find the ledge so we can hook it. There's this priestess. This is the way forward. Again, there's sheer drop downs on both sides. As we get close to the hut, she stops singing. A peculiar kindred will invade once you reach the beginning of this little pathway. The forlorn can still invade in here, so just be careful. Souls and blossoms, don't mind if I do. I think if this is the way forward. Oh, there's an enemy out there. There's a ledge here. Another healer type, probably. Oh. Okay, it's just sheer edge. The door's opened. This is a Milfinito. Yeah, you can tell by the dress, but her hair is different. That's the boss down there. The boss is the actual one that's singing. And from the Staff of Amana, the demon learned to sing. So, put two and two together, that's the Demon of Song down there. Talk. Alright. And that's how you rescue her, yep. Alright, so instead of going to fight the boss, let's try and figure out how to get over there. Unless we have to fight the boss to do it. I think we might have to fight the boss to get over there. Which is fine, I mean. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Okay. Alright. I'm not... I wanted to use a different spell against the boss. Although we could go back to the beginning, talk to the first Milfinito, because we rescued this one, so I wonder if she has additional stuff for us. I have no problem clearing this little area out again. We can always summon Felicia for that. I'm going to go do that. I'm actually going to go back to the beginning, talk to the first Milfinito. Curious, I'm pretty sure she has stuff for us now that we rescued her compatriot. Oh, you're a sorceress. You weren't a healer. Dragon Chime. Alright. Well, anyway, let's head back to the beginning, talk to the first Milfinito, see if she has anything for us. I believe she does. This might be the quickest way? No, I'll have to deal with sorceresses. I don't want to go this way. I'll have to deal with sorceresses and Drangelic warriors. I don't want to do that. Excuse me. Alright. I'll probably just speed it up from here, so I'll see you at the first Milfinito. Alright, Miss Milfinito, do you have anything more for us?
When we sing, the little ones dance. The little ones grant this is what we... When we sing, this...
Okay, so you're not the one I was thinking of. Alright, the one I'm thinking of is probably in the Shrine of the Dead. Alright. Or the Altar of Amana. Okay, never mind. Sorry. We'll take this opportunity to use this cursed jar to get us cursed. We need to not be human in order to enter the Altar of Amana, so we need to get cursed. Curse me. Curse me. Thank you. Alright, so now we're raising Claire again. All till we get to the Altar of Amana. Alright. So I'm going to homeward bone, and then we'll make our way back to the Demon of Song. Yep. Travel. Now we'll change up one spell. We're gonna slap on Toxic. Alright. Yeah. Oh, we can't summon Felicia anymore. I forgot about that. Yeah, you can't summon NPCs if you're hollow. Yep, there's Toxic going. It's a lot more damaging than poison. I think it'll do almost 1,500 points of damage if you inflict it. Yep. Alright. This is going to be a lot harder now that we don't have Felicia. Alright, so probably going to do that. We're going to speed us up or just cut to the aftermath. Alrighty then, we're back. Yep, made it through that little mess, got a little hairy there, but Drangelic warriors can suck it. But anyway, yep. And so now the progression path. Let me just check around the hut real quick. There's nothing over here. Nothing over here. Okay. Just double checking. Usually there might be items of sorts here. Alright. Alright, so now this is the Demon of Song. Not a very difficult boss. The biggie is that she has like a little outer shell that she can tuck into, and that will either greatly reduce the damage we deal, and or deflect. Yeah. if we try to hit her in her shell, we will either bounce off. Yeah, yeah. I know it will reduce the damage dealt, but I'm not 100% sure if it will deflect our attacks. So that's kind of why I have Toxic Mist ready, just so we can, if she retreats into her shell, we can cast Toxic Mist, because it'll still proc Toxic even through her shell. So even if she's in her shell, we can still do some damage to her. She's fully armored on her backside. Again, you'll do reduce damage against her backside, possibly deflect. So then the way to do full damage and not deflect is on her front side, with her two big arms and all that. She's not a terribly difficult boss. She can hit pretty hard. She does have a grab attack. She can also spew, I think, like water projectiles. That I think can slow you down. She is in water, although I don't remember it being deep, but she is in water, so lightning spells will do really well against her. Need that. I can need her bow. I don't think she does magic damage. So let us do... Let's do cool lengthy range just for standard regen. Alright. Yeah, so the game is just kind of stay in front of her, poke her when she's out of her shell. When she retreats into her shell, use Toxic. And that's the game plan. Yep. Maybe chuck some lightning spears or two when we get a chance, but... Alright. Should be straightforward. Alright, demon, let's do this. Yeah, it completely deflected our lightning spear. Come here, you frog. There's a little water attack. Don't want to get rid of her gas fire. Ooh, that did a lot of damage. A lot more than I anticipated. Come here. Still got hit, huh? Come out of your shell. That's a grab. Still poisoned, so... Let's probably take the last of our... There he goes. He's dead. Yeah, he's guaranteed dead. The Demon of Song. We get a soul as well as the key to the embedded. Demon of Song, yeah. He hit a lot harder than I remember him. He almost killed us there. I wouldn't be surprised if we had like 50 health left, if that. Yeah, but yep. Just use our Toxic Mist when he retreats into his shell, and when he gets out of his shell, just chuck lightning bolts at him or poke him in the face. Yep. Other than that, it's just dodge his swipes, avoid his grabs, get out of the way of his little standing belly flop attack, and you should be okay. Yep. Yeah, pretty easy boss. Again, he hits a lot harder than I remember, but might have been in a hit of instability, or attack of opportunity. But anyway, then we got his soul, Demon of Song. Yep. When this demon developed a taste for human flesh, it was contained within the Shrine of Amana, but the line of priestesses who looked after the shrine and appeased the creature have died off. Create something of great worth. I don't quite remember what you get from his soul. I think you might get like a spell or a miracle or hex. I don't think it's an actual weapon or anything, but we'll check it out. I think Strayed might be our person with it. Yep. Then we also got the key to the embedded. The great sword. Yep. Sword that opens the embedded's door. Shaped like a weapon, but is in fact a key. Plunge the key into the embedded to bring a rhapsodic end to his fate. The once human embedded, realizing that he could never resist the temptation of flesh, bound himself eternally with chains. Since then, he has awaited the day that someone will find this key and bury it within his bosom. Yep. It's a really cool weapon. Although I don't think you can upgrade it. Whoops. But yeah, we will be using it, and once we use it, it will leave our inventory. So if you want to keep it, don't use it on the embedded. But the Demon of Song, the demon who once tasted flesh, gained the knowledge of the songs of the Milfinitos, and began to sing. Hello. I did not know you were in here. The things you find when you look up. Great life gem. Nice. That's a thing. Huh. Yep, those little moths are everywhere in this game. Yep. I did not know there was one in here until I looked up. Still learning things about this game all these years later. So we came in from there. This should be the exit. Brings us over here to the other edge. Should just be a drop down here. Yep. Alright. It brings us on the other side. That's where I wanted to go. So let's put on... I'll use that. Okay. Yeah, let's use one already. Alright. Should be kind of like a straight shot almost here. Yep, there's a Sian Knight. I think that's the door to the Undead Crypt. This will lead us over there. There is a petrified statue that you have to unpetrify in order to get to the Altar of Amana. But I believe we have enough. How many do we have? We have 3. I know we need at least 1 in Aldius Keep. And I think 1 more for the Ares? I think we should be fine. I think we should be fine. If these guys pick up, they drop infusion stones. got some here. We are going to use the fragrant branch just because. After we get this chest. 20 magic arrows, sure, why not? Alright, so we will unpetrify this guy. Hit the bonfire. There we go. I don't think there's any invisible hollows in here or hidden doors in here. I'll put on our great magic barrier again. Alright. Up we go. Probably got to fight some pyromancers. Oh, we got the... Yeah, so here's the door. This is the door you have to be... I think this is the door. Is this the door? I think it is. There's the door over there. Oh, we can always check. I think it's this door where you have to be hollow. Yeah. In order to open this door, you have to be hollow. Yep. I wasn't sure if it was this door or the one, or there's another one beyond this. I tend not to come here very often, but yeah. So this door has to be, you have to be hollow to open it. Yep. So the quickest way to be hollow is to die. Okay. Just spawn at that bonfire. We can grab our stuff real quick, and then we can go past the door. I don't think it requires a key. I think it just, you have to be hollow to open it. So now we're hollow. The door should open. If it doesn't, then I don't know what to do. There it goes. Okay. You have to be hollow to open this door. Right. There should be some pyromancers this way. But now that the door's open, at least it should stay open. You know. Just gonna die outright? No. Unhonorable, I don't care. But though, I'm pretty sure he does respawn, so you have to kill him every time you come over here. And here it is. I believe this is either the Altar of the Dead or the Altar of Amana. Alas, nothing happened. Yep. If you have no effigies, no human effigies, none on your persons, none in the item box, you come here, you pray. If you're hollow, you'll turn human. Yeah, so this is how you turn human if you have no human effigies or no human effigies at all. Yep. So this is a pretty important shrine if we ever run out of effigies. Though I don't think that'll ever happen. So we have another Milfinito.
Who are you? And what do you want from us?
Nothing. We don't want anything. We just want to talk.
Milfinito, that is what we are called. My name? Do you mean our name? We know nothing of the outside world.
Her name. Or our name. Yeah, they don't really think of themselves as individuals, probably. More like a group. So Milfinito is just the name of these ladies.
We sing eternally for those who bear death and dark within themselves. We have been here forever. We know nothing of the outside world, and we do not need to.
Because our only job is to sing to comfort those in death and darkness.
The little ones were born from the great dead one. And the great dead one taught us song. We have sung ever since, to comfort those bound by death and dark. This is what we were taught.
So the little ones came from the great dead one. Are those like the remains of Nito? Like what happened to him after we killed him in Dark Souls 1? Interesting.
You silenced that cursed singing. Please accept these as a thank you.
The Divine Blessing. I think we get this because we killed the Demon of Song.
Do you seek comfort too? You poor thing. Take this at the very least.
Petrified something.
This is all that we can do.
And I think she gives us that because we talked to her.
The little ones were born from the great and the great dead. We have sung. This is what.
Okay. I think that's all she has for now.
The little and the. This is.
Alright. So we have one more Milfinito to go rescue up in Drangelic Castle. We'll go do that here in a moment, but let's finish exploring this little area. And you can see another pyromancer. I was hoping we could hit him in the shin or something. No, I think we'll actually have to go down there and fight him. I don't want to. Alright, let's do this. Get our magic barrier going as well. Boosting our fire defense so we don't get like one tap from this guy. So I wouldn't be surprised if we do. Oh, alright, that was actually not that bad. Those are lingering flames. They will explode if you get too close. Like that. Alright, no firestorm. No. Alright. Fire seed again, not really worth. Well, we don't need it, but down here, another little pyromancer in water. No, sir. Alright. That's a drop off there. There's actually a path on either side, which leads to a chest. This one has the Manslayer. Folded up a Tosai, if anybody's old enough to know that anime. It's It's a katana that does poison. Yep. A katana with a terribly worn blade. It appears useless, but is in fact coated with deadly poison. The sword has claimed countless victims, and the bloodstains upon its blade have turned to poison. Yep. You can see it's rough and chipped. So this thing has been used to kill a lot of people, probably. Probably the standard, pretty standard. I think it's the same as the Uchi katana. Yeah, it's the same moveset as the Uchi katana. I think we can power stance him as well. Hold on. Yeah, we can power stance katanas. Although I think this takes Twinkling Tiny to upgrade, so well, we can get a lot of it. Right. So that's something to keep in mind. And the poison on it is just regular poison. It's not toxic like it suggests. But over here should be another chest. A bonfire aesthetic. Useful, but I'm not going to use it. Alright. That's actually everything for this little section. So now we'll go back into Drangelic Castle, free the other Milfinitos, come back here and talk to her again, because I think she'll have something more after we rescue that other Milfinito. Alright, so I'll probably skip to us in Drangelic Castle, so I'll see you in a bit. Alright, spared you guys the elevator ride up, so here we are. This is the embedded. We have his key, and the key says he wants to be freed from his mortal coil. So there you go, sir. Opens the door, allows us to talk. And we freed a Milfinito, and she gave us the Ring of the Dead. Ring of the Dead. Where are you? Here we are. Ring of the Dead. The wearer of this ring appears human, even while hollow. They say that in the undead crypt, we can reacquaint ourselves with the dead. We all suffer loss, and none of us could escape death. Then what is the fascination with reclaiming that which has already passed into the beyond? That is a good question. Yep. That is a good philosophical question, the answer to which depends on the person, I guess. Yep. So even though we're hollow, you can tell by our health bar being cut a little bit, we look human. Although we look human, we'll actually still sound like a hollow. Yep. But nope. We'll stick with our beef jerky. Alright, so we rescue that Milfinito. Yep. Alright, so now we're going to go talk to the other Milfinitos. I'm going to first start with the one in the first hut that we encountered. Seeing... what was that? That was the Milfinito singing, but she's not there anymore. Okay. Alright, that was odd. I don't know why that happened, but... So, as I was saying, I'm going to go back to this first Milfinito, see if she has anything new. If she doesn't, we'll go to the Shrine of the Altar of Mana and talk to the one in there. So I'll probably either skip to this one, or yeah, I'll probably skip to the first one here, and then we'll skip to the next one. So I'll see you when I get back. Alright, Milfinito, you have anything for us this time?
We hear a song in the distance. You rescued a Milfinito, who was taken from us. Take this. We, Milfinito, thank you.
Oh, another divine blessing. That's probably because we rescued the one in Drangelic Castle. Anything else?
You quelled that cursed singing. They may be of no use outside, but please, take these.
Another divine blessing, again, because we killed the Demon of Song. So I guess, alright. Because we did interact with the one Milfinito outside the boss arena, but I don't think she has anything for that one, but she does have one for the Demon of Song, and the one from up in Drangelic Castle. Alright. Anything else?
When we sing, the little this.
Alright.
When we the this.
Cool. Alright, so we got a few divine blessings. I won't say no. Yep. A full restore is always good. Alright. So now we'll go back to the Altar of Amana. Yep. We'll talk to the ones in there and see if they have anything for us. I call it the Altar of Mana, but I don't even know if it has an actual name. Rise of the Dead. So it's probably the Altar of the Dead, if this is the Rise. Alright. Again, this door should always be open now, yeah. So I think we could be human again, and this will still be open. Alright, is the Pyromancer respawned? I bet he does. Yes, he does. Cool. That's all I need to know. Oops. You came in close this time. Oop. Get off my plane. Alright. Alright, again, the last time he just stood back here and let us arrow him, but I guess this time he actually ran up. Alright. Milfinito?
We hear a song in the distance. You rescued a Milfinito who was taken from us. Take this. We Milfinito thank you.
And a fire seed. Yep. Probably give us that because we rescued the one in Drangelic Castle. Alright. Anything else?
The little ones were born, and this is...
Alright. Cool. A few divine blessings, a fire seed. Worth it. So where do you think that other Milfinito went? She's in that, like, broken hut out there, maybe? It's worth investigating. Yeah, we'll go check. Yeah, well, maybe we could. Trying to think what's the fastest route over there. Oh, there's another. Another moth. Just noticed it. Things you find when you look up. Man, those moths are like everywhere. Particularly if there's like a little foresty area. Another radiant life gem. Alright, you know, I'll go check on my own time, see if that Milfanita went to that broken hut. I don't think so, but I'll check. Ah. Take that. Alright. So I'll go check on my own time, see if that Milfanita went to that hut. Again, I don't think so, but never know. But restore our humanity. We have another CN Knight. Guarding the door to the Undead Crypt. Alright. Excuse me, sir. I'm after the king. I don't think there's any illusory walls in here. I don't think there's anything in here. I think it's just a transition area that has nothing except for this elevator down. Alright. Down into the Undead Crypt. This is just a giant elevator that they used in Firelink Shrine and Dark Souls. Yeah, the elevator down to New Londo, it looks like this, except smaller. Yeah. There's also another one in the Darkroot Basin that'll take you down to the Valley of Drakes. Looks like this. Alright, here we are. The Undead Crypt. Alright. We're going to have a special encounter. Yep. We'll be meeting Mr. Aldia again, right here. I think he'll ask us a few questions. If you want to fight him at the end, I think you have to say yes. Yes to all his questions. And then he'll show up as the final boss. Yep. But again, he'll only show up if you've killed all the old ones. Yep. So take a quick look at this little air room. Item, a radiant life gem. Don't mind if I do. Alright, Aldia.
Young fellow, conqueror of fear. What drives your soul to overcome the supposed curse?
Overcome the supposed curse, huh? Well.
Life is brilliant, beautiful. It enchants us to the point of obsession. Some are true to their purpose, they are fulfilled, flesh and mind. One man lost his own body, but lingered on as a head. Others chase the charms of love. What is it that drives you?
Well, our curse is driving us, I guess, or trying to undo it, but for the most part, we're just being thrown along by the Emerald Heralds, actually, if you think about it. But I don't know.
Once, the Lord of Light banished dark and all that stemmed from humanity. And then assumed a fleeting form. These are the roots of our world. Men are props in stated life, and no matter how tender, how exquisite, alive will remain alive. Young Harlow, knowing this, do you still desire peace?
I think we have to say yes for him to show up. So, yes, we desire peace.
Vendrick, the near true monarch, is here, and not far off. But what is a king? You, neither born with great wisdom granted him by the fates. What is it you seek? You cannot even say yourself. We shall meet again, young Harlow.
Alright, Aldea, be a giant lore dump or all that stuff. Yep. He basically talked about Gwyn and his, the Lord of Light banished the dark and all that stuff. What are we seeking? One who is neither born with greatness or granted it by fate. He's like, just seek out Vendrick. He's here, the near true monarch. Blah blah blah. Yep. He asked us if we seek true peace, and we said yes. But again, I think you have to say yes to all of his encounters for him to show up as the final boss. So, right. Light the bonfire. All right. Anyway, with that, I'm going to call an episode right here. Yep. Well, actually, no. Nope. We want to head to Strayed real quick. We want to see what we can get from the Demon of Song's little boss soul. I think it's a spell. Strayed? Yes, Strayed. Nope. Oh yeah, it's a whip. I forgot. Spotted whip. Yep. A whip born from the soul of the Demon of Song, covered with the strange spots that betray its poisonous effects. The demon's sonorous voice, in stark contrast to its hideous form, is surely intended to lure people close so that it may devour them. I forgot I had this spotted whip. And here's life drain patch that we can get from the Dark Lurker soul. Consume a number of souls and affix dark to a certain spot. Inflicts damage upon those who touch it. This distorted dark, brewed by hexers, drains the life force of those who touch it, including ourselves. Yep. This will also affect the player. So if you put it down, you can get affected by this. So just be careful around it. I'll say that. All right. I think that's the only thing we get from these soul.
Drang is that very feeble
Wait, let me check your spells real quick. Alright, nothing new. Not until after the Undead Crypt. Okay. Alright. Is there anything else I want to go to? There's the Undead Crypt.
Bearer of the curse until hope.
The rest is max strength. I think we're done enough to level. I'll just check the NPCs real quick.
Well,
Nothing new.
knowing.
About you, Militia? Anything from you?
And you?
Nope.
Lowly chap.
Check with Mullen real quick. I don't think he has anything new, but we'll just check with him.
You need armor?
Yeah, nothing new. Alright.
Are you sure?
Checking with Shell Quargs. I think she might have something new. I doubt it, but...
Oh, it's you. What are you doing here? Have you lost your way? I believe you're in search of the king. Well, he's keeping company with the dead.
Alright, nothing new. Okay. Alright, I guess nothing new from any of these people here. Well, let me check with Alicia real quick. Again, I don't think she has anything new. Again, with Carillion, he probably has nothing new. Rosabeth probably has nothing new. I just want to double check.
You must, what a one.
Yeah, nothing new. Okay.
What is the well, you...
No need for me. The gods.
Yeah, so she has nothing new, then Carillion has nothing new, so we'll just leave it at that. Alright. And after this, we'll call an episode. Yep. Get into this spot. Alright. And with that, we'll call an episode. Yep. We finished up the Shrine of Amana. Yep. Didn't take as long as I thought. I thought there was going to be like another section after that, but nope. We just had one more section, and then the boss fight with the Demon of Song. Yep. And so we started off the bonfire at the Roy's Rest Spot, I think is what it's called. But yep, cleared out the little insects in the cave. We did summon Felicia the Brave, just to kind of serve as like a distraction of sorts in the next little fight, because the next fight is it's a fight. There's a few sorcerers ringed around this little arena-like area, 2 Archdrake warriors, a healer, and it's quasi-deep water, so you will be slowed down. So it is definitely a fight. Yeah, so summoning Felicia the Brave for that little section there, I'm not gonna put it past you. Yeah. So we summoned her. Before exiting the cave, we took out our bow and arrow, took out at least one of the sorceresses from range, and then we took out the healer from range as well. Yep. And then after that, we kind of brought our spirit out and just kind of charged in. Yep. Took care of the Archdrake warriors as well as the other sorceresses around the edge. And then we were invaded by Peculiar Kindred. I think he spawns once you step foot on the little bridge after that little arena area. So we did step on there, just kind of dodge roll, trigger the summon, and had to deal with her. But yeah. Luckily, Felicia the Brave is pretty tough for new game, so she held her own. Yep. And after that, we just kind of ran away. We went around and collected our prize, our loot. There was the red iron twin blade, a strength-based twin blade. Probably won't be using it. I think one of the sorceresses dropped a twinkling titanite. There was a homing crystal soul mass on one of the bodies at the back. I think there was some soul items, maybe a petrified dragon bone. Yep, I think that was it. There's also that little loot just to the right of the cave exit, like off the little path there. I think that had like a green blossom and like a radiant gem or something like that. Yep. And then after that, we released Felicia the Brave from her service. Pressed forward a bit more, just clearing out some more lizard men. Picked up, I think, another twinkling titanite. Yep. And then we came upon the last hut. Yep. The last hut containing another Milfinito, but she was looking pretty rough. Yeah, looking pretty rough. So we talked with her. She vanished. I think at that point we went back to the first Milfinito, see if she had anything new, but she didn't. We got ourselves cursed, just so we can check out the altar past the boss. Yep. Then we went back, cleared out that little encounter again, and then we took on the Demon of Song. Yep. Not a hard boss, though she does hit pretty hard if you let her. She almost killed us. Probably had a few, maybe like under 100 health left after one big attack, but just kind of the gimmick for her is that she has a little outer shell that will deflect all damage. And though I didn't test it, I'm pretty sure it will also deflect our melee attacks. So we just kind of stayed in front of her. When she went into her little shell, busted out the toxic mixed pyromancy, just to like at least poison her, so we'll do damage even though she retreats into her shell. And then when she's out of her shell, we kind of chucked some spears at her, poked her for a bit, and then she eventually died. Yeah. So once you defeat her, you get her soul, as well as the key to the embedded. Yeah. The key needed to release the embedded from his torment and free the Milfinito back in Drangelic Castle. We didn't do that immediately. Instead, I learned there was a moth above that arena, so it's a free, pretty good loot. I think it dropped us a radiant life gem. Won't say no. Yep, so then we pressed forward, found the entrance to the Undead Crypt, which was guarded by a Cien Knight. Put him off for the moment. Continued forward. Took out some basilisks. Chest containing some magic arrows. Then we unpetrified a statue blocking the way to the last bonfire in the Shrine of Amana. Yep. So we hit the bonfire, went up the stairs, and then we checked to see if the door would open if we were human, which it did not. So then we died once to become hollow. Then we checked the door again above that last bonfire, and that door will only open if you're hollow, or some degree of hollow. Yep. So if you're human, it won't open, but if you're hollow, it will. I think once you open it, it'll stay open, so you can come back again when you're human. But so past that door, some crawling hollows. Further down the way is a respawning pyromancy NPC. So we took care of him. Yep. And at the end I tend to swap back and forth between the altar, or the altar of Amana, or the altar of the dead. I think it's the altar of the dead. I think it's what it's actually called. But it is the altar that if you pray to and you have no human effigies, you have none on your person, none in the item box, none at all. If you pray to the altar, you will reverse hollowing. Yep. So there is a means to undo your hollows even if you have no human effigies. So Although I don't plan on having none, but it's there if we need it. And then we talked to the Milfinito there. I think she gave us a divine blessing for killing the Demon of Song. I think she gave us something else just after talking with her. I think she gave us a petrified something. Yeah, I think you get a petrified something just talking to her, and the divine blessing because you killed the Demon of Song. So after talking with her, we went down, took care of another pyromancer. I think it was the fire seed in that little alcove he was in. Down the stairs, there was another pyromancer we took care of. And then we went to the left, which had a chest containing the Manslayer Katana. It's basically it's a Uchi Katana that does poison damage. Yeah, these moveset seems to be similar to the Uchi Katana, so you can call it the Poison Uchi Katana. And then we, on the other side of the stairs, there's another chest containing a bonfire ascetic. Yep, something I won't be using, but they are useful if you want to use them. So after that, we went back to Drangelic Castle, where we used the key in the embedded to free the embedded from his mortal coil, as well as free the Milfinito from Drangelic Castle. Yeah. And so we freed her. She gave us the Ring of the Dead, which is a ring that allows us to appear human even if we're hollow. Yep. So after that, we went back to the Shrine of Mana. We talked to the first Milfinito in the area that we first met there. She gave us a divine blessing for freeing the Milfinito in the Drangelic Castle, and another one for killing the Demon of Song. So, yeah, so we get quite a few divine blessings from just talking to these Milfinitos. Yep. And then after that, we went back to the Altar of the Dead, where we talked to that Milfinito again. I think she gave us a fire seed. Yep, I think she gave us another fire seed. So she gives us that because we freed the Milfinito from Drangelic Castle. Yep, so we have quite a few divine blessings and fire seeds just from talking with them. Yep. And then after that, we went down, took care of the CN Knight guarding the elevator down to the Undead Crypt. Yep, took the elevator down. Looted a radiant gem in that little bonfire room. And then when we went to activate the bonfire, lo and behold, Aldia showed up once again. Yep. And we talked about question what we actually seek. What are we seeking? Do we even know what we're seeking? Do we wish to? We talked about how the Lord of Light banished the dark. How it pulled I think a covering over the eyes of humans. He asked us if we wanted to either restore the peace or continue the peace or something like that, and they gave us a choice: yes or no. If you want to fight Aldia as the final boss, say yes. Say yes to all of his encounters, because I'm confident, or it's been a while since I actually played, but I'm almost certain that if you say yes to all of his encounters, from then on, he'll show up as the final boss in the Throne of Wants. Yeah. So we said yes. He talked some more about Vendrick, the near true monarch and all that stuff. And then he disappeared. Yep. But we'll see him again. Yep, see him again. Yep, so we hit the bonfire. Went to Stray to see what we get from the Demon of Song Soul, which is the Spotted Whip. Then we came here to Majula, checked in with some of the NPCs, and that was it. Yep, that was it. We finished up the Shrine of Mana, and now we have access to the Undead Crypt. Oh yeah. Yeah, the Undead Crypt's going to be interesting. But anyway, yeah. Yep. So next episode would be the Undead Crypt. Probably probably half of it. It's not a big area, but there is a lot of twists and turns and some secrets. And then we have a choice. There's a sconce that we could lit, or a lever. I think it's a sconce. If we light a particular sconce in that area, it'll light up the entire crypt, so it'll be easier to see, but it'll cause special red phantoms to spawn in certain spots, which could make it a bit more challenging. So, yeah. We'll also, in the other crypt, there's also Agdane. We'll meet Agdane down there. We'll fight Velstadt. We'll have another invasion of the Nameless Usurper. Quite a few upgrade materials and some items. We'll also meet Vendrick at the very end, where we can actually pick up the King's Ring at that point. Yeah. Quite a bit of stuff in the Undead Crypt. But, yeah, but again, that's all for another episode. And I thank you all for watching. And I'll see you all next time.